Oh, hey, I don't think consensual sex even exists in the Bible. Hello, my name is Maddie Maymoto. I'm a Bible scholar specializing in gender and sexuality, and I recently posted a picture about premarital sex. I recently posted a video about premarital sex on my profile. And of course, it got a lot of comments disagreeing with me or just asking, what about this passage? What about this? What about this? What about that? And as I was reading and responding to all of your comments, I realized that we are all bringing a very modern concept to the text when we talk about sex. And that's the modern invention of consensual sex. When reading and studying an ancient text like the Bible, we have to remember just how steeped in patriarchy it actually is. If you don't know, I specialize in ancient masculinity standards, and something that I've realized is that in the ancient world, masculinity is synonymous with humanity. The more masculine you were, the more human you were. This means that women were seen as subhuman. So often in conversations around premarital sex in the Bible, we're assuming that there was some element of choice or consent on the woman's side, but that was not even a consideration where the woman was involved. In fact, a woman having a choice or a say at all in who their marriage partner was is a very recent invention. This means that every example that we have in the Bible of a sexual relationship was not consensual, because women's humanity and agency was not acknowledged. Now, we do have examples of women using their sexuality to manipulate men, but I feel like that's pretty obviously non-consensual on both sides. So this means that every single time an extramarital relationship is talked about in the Bible, it's in an exploitative context. This doesn't apply to what we're thinking about today with consensual, loving, premarital, or extramarital sex. The only textual evidence that we have of some sort of consensual loving relationship would be found in Song of Solomon, but even super conservative Bible scholars agree that that's a piece of fiction and it was written by a man. Now, does this mean that love and consensual sex did not exist in the ancient world? Probably not, but there's just no reliable biblical evidence for it. It's especially important to remember that the Bible was written by men for men. So even the women characters that we encounter throughout the text are constructed by the male gaze for the male gaze. So when we talk about a biblical sex ethic, it's important to remember that consent was a modern invention, and there's almost nothing in the Bible that we can use as a model for healthy, equal relationships. There's a lot of wisdom in the Bible that we can use to apply to our daily lives, but as someone who studies ancient masculinity, gender, sexuality, I don't think that we can look at the Bible for relationship advice.